the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Business Spot podcast with our host, Scott Smith. Scott, how are you? I know you're excited about our guest.
Neil, I'm great. I am so excited about our guest. We have Teresa Kaufman, who is the founder and CEO of Innovative Recruitment Solutions in Chicago. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, how are you doing today?
So great. It's hardly fair to everybody else.
Yes.
All right, Scott, let's kick off our first question.
All right, super. So, Teresa, tell us about what inspired you to start Innovative Recruitment Solutions.
I started Innovative Recruitment Solutions due to my passion for recruiting and wanting to help others and just connecting the right person to the right opportunity.
Interesting.
Okay.
And that why factor, the right opportunity, kind of define further that right opportunity. What would you say that when you're looking at the connecting of people? What did you see as this is a no-brainer know this is something that people need?
Yes, definitely. I am definitely specific. As a recruiter, I make sure that when I'm working with a client that has a job opening available, that I am definitely listening to what they're looking for. Specifically, I know the job, I know the culture, I understand everything. And if I don't, obviously, I ask questions because I want to make sure that I am finding the perfect match for that hiring manager. And I know how daunting the job search can be. So I just want to make sure that I'm asking also the candidate the right questions because I want to find them a career, not just a job.
That's awesome. So, you then tailor your recruitment strategies to match the cultures and needs of companies, or you're tailoring them toward the people that you're working with?
In terms of the recruitment strategies, I'm tailoring it towards a little bit of both. So like say, for instance, a company is looking for a specific role for their business, rather it be like a large or a small company. I understand the job and what they're looking for. And then I'm out there like recruiting and finding the right candidate for the match for the position.
And that's key. And how do you find candidates versus going ahead and working with certain companies that you're helping them connect?
Yes. So in terms of like finding the candidates, I'm finding that you can't utilize like traditional recruiting methods in this day and age. So much has changed in the recruitment industry and recruiting in and in itself. For instance, I'm currently working with a client for physical therapists in difficult to fill areas. So the traditional recruiting methods do not work. I definitely have to think outside the box in terms of my sourcing and recruiting abilities.
That's interesting. So, are you noticing like trends in the recruitment industry? And how are you trying to position yourself to stay ahead of those trends?
So in terms of the trends, I listen, I'm being transparent, I'm being personable. And when I'm out there and I'm listening to the client and the candidate, I'm listening to what they're saying as well as what they're not saying. I'm being transparent. I'm being very open and honest and conveying that to the client as well as the candidate. What I'm finding out there, I'm being very personable. I'm listening and I'm wanting to make sure that I'm connecting and then I'm sharing feedback. I want to make sure that the client provides feedback on the candidate, and I'm also sharing that feedback with the candidate as well.
Mm. Yeah, that's important to have those conversations and figuring out what they're looking for. What do you think is the biggest challenge this day to find the right employees for companies?
Once again, as I had mentioned, just making sure that I have the understanding of the job. So I'm out there finding that right candidate, but it's being able, like I'd mentioned with the physical therapist position, just being able to think outside of the box in terms of the traditional recruiting methods, and also depending upon a position like the physical therapist position that I'm currently working on, just the candidate pool is very slim. So it's almost obviously being creative and thinking outside of the box and just like for the physical therapist positions that I'm currently working on, I'm calling schools, I'm becoming involved in networking groups. And then I've also gotten to the point of thinking how a physical therapist who is looking for an opportunity would go about looking for a position, to kind of like think from their perspective when they're looking for a job to kind of help me in finding those people for those roles.
That's awesome. So, all right, so let's shift gears just a little and tell us, I guess, a little about your business. So, have you faced certain challenges in getting your business started or in getting things off the ground? And how have you dealt with those?
Yes, definitely challenges. So when starting a business, I kind of had a big picture of what it would entail. However, getting from point A to point Z, there's like a lot of different things involved in the process. And another big thing that's come up is definitely the expense of starting your own business.
Yeah, absolutely. The expenses are the cash flow.
Yes,
Your first couple clients, you're good, right? But once you're scaling that business and you're adding more and more other resources you need, you see that even if you're being successful and bringing on people, the problem is you constantly have to get more cash flow.
yes. Drumming up more business. Yes,
Drumming up more business, but then more cash flow, either or, like from loans or just going out more business so you can scale further.
definitely.
And again, finding the right companies in the Chicago area, is that challenging? How many of them are utilizing recruiting companies? So there's a lot of competition too.
Yes. Definitely. So I have found resources that have helped me with my business development. I utilize a resource, Zoom Info, and they provide companies and then as well as contact names within the companies. So, and also you can scale it a little bit further because they have in their data where they indicate as to who is utilizing a staffing company to fill their roles. So there are things out there. I'm doing a lot of networking, I'm branding, I'm getting myself out there. There's a lot of ways to get yourself out there, but you just definitely need to stay consistent and stay on top and getting that business development going.
Yeah. So, a networking event is where you and I met, right?
Yes.
That's where we met. We sat outside in kind of the steamy, late spring, early summer Chicago weather, right before a big giant storm came in, and got to know each other and talk to each other about our respective businesses. Networking has been huge. It's
Yes.
been huge for me. So I can only imagine that when you're trying to find roles for people, it makes all the difference in the world to be able to expand that network.
Definitely. And then just
So,
continuing to see all the different type of networking events or opportunities that are out there, and currently, just kind of like the avenues and the channels in which it can take you. Like this morning I had the opportunity, I'm advertising my business in the magazine Stroll in my subdivision, and just becoming networked with just them and how they're entrepreneurs and how they can help me and give me advice as to how I can continue to grow my business and grow my brand and get myself networked. There's a lot of resources and people out there that are willing and wanting to help and just need to ask the right questions, and they can get you in touch with the right people to help.
No, that they definitely can. And that's the thing. And networking has become more and more not just events virtually or in person, but the ability to be guests on people's podcasts, to build relationships through podcasting, I think is one of the best and key components to really help grow things, because you can build relationships, you see where those collaborations come, and you never know who's going to be the next person that you find through that process.
Yep, definitely.
yeah, that's absolutely true, Neil. And the more people you talk to, Teresa, the more people know what you're doing, and you get something like a podcast like this and you get out there and people are going to see it and they're going to begin to associate you and your name with what the passion that you bring and the things that you're trying to do. So I think I have one more question that I really want to ask you, and that is, so a woman-owned business, right? You've struck out on your own. I think that's just absolutely spectacular. Being married to someone like that myself, who has a real passion for entrepreneurship, what advice would you give to other aspiring entrepreneurs, especially women who are looking to break into, either the staffing and recruitment or really any industry? What advice would you give them?
I would definitely say follow your passion, because that is what I'm doing. I know that starting a business can be very challenging. There's obstacles to overcome as you're going through and starting your business. Just see them as learning experiences, not failures. Continue to be resilient and persistent. And like I'd mentioned before, just talk to people, ask questions, ask for help. That's how I'm definitely doing all these different channels of networking and becoming involved with other people. And just know that you're good enough and you're qualified enough and that you can make your dreams a reality.
Awesome.
Love it. Okay. Best place we can find information on you, Teresa. Where can we go?
InnovativeRecruitmentSolutions.com, which is my website. Or you can email me, Teresa at InnovativeRecruitmentSolutions.com.
Excellent. We appreciate it. All right. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Business Spotlight podcast, guys.